and welcome to the Bread Advocate. Today I'm making a mini version of pretzel buns. I'm going to start by incorporating yeast into the flour. I do this to decrease the chances of the salt killing the yeast. You can incorporate it by hand, or if you'd like, you can also stir it in. I prefer to use my hands just because it's fun. Once that's well incorporated, I'll add in my salt and sugar. And then I'll make a well in the middle so that I can pour in both my melted butter every last little bit, and then I will pour in about half of my water. I'm using whole stone ground flour that I ground on my mill that I have at home, and it can take up a little bit more water than a sifted flour or an all-purpose flour. So I like to start off with about half of the water, and then I'll incorporate a little bit more as I see how quickly the flour is absorbing the water. I'll just keep on incorporating the water in until I feel that the flour and other dry ingredients are well moistened and the dough is coming together and isn't flaky. Once the dough has come together, turn it out onto your work surface. If it's pretty sticky, you can lightly flour, but try not to use too much flour as it could cause your dough to become dense. Then use whatever kneading method you prefer. I'm using a method where you fold the dough over onto itself after slamming it down onto the work surface. I will be posting a video in the future showing multiple kneading methods so that you can try them out and figure out which one works best for you. As I'm kneading this dough, I have my feet set apart so that I have a little bit more strength behind my arms. Once my dough is smooth and elastic, then I form it into a ball and put it into a bowl, which I then cover with a moistened cloth since I live in a dry environment, and then I let it rest for 1 hour. Once the dough is rested, I bring it out onto my work surface using my bowl scraper so that I don't lose much of the air that has formed while the bread is resting. And then measure the entirety of the dough so I know how much I have to work with. Since I ended up with about 500 grams of dough in total, I'll make each pretzel bun about 50 grams. So I'll end up with 10 pretzel buns. I'll take each bit of dough and round it out with my fingers and then pinch in the sides into the bottom and then roll it on my surface to seal in the edges. Once all the pretzel buns are formed, I put them all on one baking sheet and cover them up with the same cloth as I did before. And they rest for an additional 30 minutes or until doubled in size. While those are resting, you can boil your water with the baking soda. You can drop one in, or several if you're brave. I am not when it comes to things boiling. Boil each bun for about 30 seconds on each side, or a little bit longer if you want them to be a little bit more chewy. I use a spatula that has holes in it. That way the water doesn't stay on the spatula quite so long. Just be pretty careful while you're doing this, since you're dealing with boiling water and these are pretty slippery, wet little dough balls essentially. Don't worry if it looks a little bit deflated, it will bounce back and get an oven spring. Once you've boiled all of your buns, brush the top with an egg wash. And score an X on the top. I'm using just a standard razor, but I do want to upgrade to a bread lamb. And then I topped mine with some coarse salt, which now that I think about it, I maybe shouldn't have put quite so much on because I was making these for my nieces and nephews. Bake for about 15 to 20 minutes until the buns are fully cooked. And tapping the bottom creates a hollow sound. So these are my finished mini pretzel buns. For the recipe, you can visit thebreadadvocate.com. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you.